Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, it's Jackie Cation. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com, of course, if you love a determiner. And it is December. In December, you do not donate to the Dork Forest. You donate to your local food bank. That's right. Find a food bank. Go to feedingamerica.org if you're in America. And there is, it's a link. There'll be a link to that on the notes at essentially dorkforest.com, which is allthingscomedy.com as well, which is the podcast network. Aaron Foley's, podcast is going to join over there at, Sports Without Balls. And it's a sports podcast, where two ladies, Erin Foley and Rebecca Corey, talk about sports. She asked me to be on, and then she realized that I could not be on because I don't know anything about sports. She can come back on the Dork Forest to talk about sports, but it doesn't work the other way. So donate to a food bank. Every other month, donate to the Dork Forest. What the heck? And if you still want merch for Christmas or for solstice or for Armenian Christmas, you can go to the merch store on JackieCation.com and get t-shirts and CDs and hooded sweatshirts. I have them in stock. I have hooded sweatshirts, all sizes, in stock for the season. What the heck? And this month, we have another sponsor. Remember, you could be a sponsor, and that's what Leanne Olson, who was on one of the last episodes of the Dork Forest of Geekiana.com, decided she wanted to sponsor the Dork Forest for a month. So know in your hearts that Leanne Olson is a crafty, crafty dork, and she has a business called Geekiana.com where she prints t-shirts and sweatshirts and scarves and posters, and it's all dork related. It's nerdy, it's geeky. It's Geekiana.com. So she also has her own podcast, so you can listen up to that and order up on that, Geekiana.com. My personal favorite, Watership Downton Abbey, the t-shirt. And I think there's also a poster, and you should get that. So let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg sang that song you just heard. He's going to sing the Mexican hat dance at the end. He composed that. He sang in the beginning with Sarah Cohen, his girlfriend. That's right. Patrick Brady, gonna fix this audio, does a vital work. And, he also does the YouTube teasers that are on youtube.com/thedorkforest. And Vilmos fixes the website. That's right. JackieCation.com is done by Braniac. I think it's spelled, it's on the bottom of JackieCation.com. Link to that if you have any website needs. And other than that, let us begin. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I am actually, using lavaliers. I wonder how they're going to come out since this one seems to be attached to itself. Greg Asdourian, welcome to the program while I unscrew the lavalier cord from itself.
Hey, Jackie, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm playing at Rooster Tea Feathers. You're going to come do a guest set tonight, which I appreciate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And we're in the Bay Area, the beautiful Bay Area that people love so much.
Yeah, we're in Cupertino right now, I think.
I believe we are. But it's Sunnyvale is where the club is, I'm told. Yeah. And I've been enjoying a Vietnamese sandwich or two, because that is what they do good here. They do some good work with some Vietnamese sandwiches.
Yeah. I don't discriminate when it comes to sandwiches. I'm kind of all about, I'll mix it up.
You'll mix it up? Have you tried the baguette, Vietnamase sandwich?
I have not.
Do you like that chair or do you like this chair better?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we met probably 4 or 5 years ago now, 4 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
And you run a show out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a weird sports bar full of very nice people.
Because my career is on fire.
Exactly. Whose career isn't, right? Because you're willing to do stand-up wherever there's stand-up.
Exactly.
Is it at Greg Asdourian on Twitter?
It is. Not that you'll spell that right.
Right.
All you listeners out there, but...
It's spelled phonetically. Those of Armenian descent will know that it's just spelled phonetically.
Me and Jackie are unique in the fact that we are both Armenian comedians who do not talk about being Armenian almost at all.
Right. Eric Dadurian doesn't talk about it either.
Neither does John Hugasian, another...
James Adomian. Yeah. You know what? We're constantly not talking about being Armenians. I think it's more rare for an Armenian comic to talk about it.
I think it's just because I just can't stand them.
You don't like our people?
I don't. Well, not.
Or is it you don't like your family?
Well, it's touche. Well, it's weird because I'm actually not full-blooded Armenian. I'm a weird mix. My mother's from El Salvador, and my father's Armenian grew up in Beirut.
Okay.
So like I'm a really odd. I'm a very San Francisco combination.
Right. So your dad's what my father would like to say is called Beirutsi Armenian.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't feel flattering when he says it. By the way,
Beirutsis and Hayastansis.
Hayastansis came from Armenia.
Yeah, they're like Protestants and Catholic Irish. It's just
because we're old school because we came from Turkey. Back 100 years ago when the Turks drove us across Lebanon on foot.
See, and that's the thing is that my family went to Beirut from all that instead of coming to America or leaving the
Right, they stopped.
Area.
They stopped for falafel and hummus in Beirut, and they were like, this will be fine.
Because they fell in love with all that beautiful Beirutsi scenery.
Have you ever been to Beirut?
I have not. I actually really want to, and like I'm so terrified of going there because I've had a surprisingly hostile response to the fact that I'm half Salvadorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like
they don't consider it white enough or something?
They don't consider it Armenian enough sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But I was in this is a classic story that maybe people might remember, actually from the old Blog Talk days, so maybe not, because nobody's listening to those. Blog Talk, it's the first 200 episodes of the Dork Forest were on Blog Talk Radio in conference call. Goodness. Anyway, but they sent, in LA, there's so many Armenians, right? So everybody's Armenian. So when I first moved there, I did some show and they sent an Armenian limo driver. And he was like, Kashian, and he ethnics up my name, and he goes, is that Armenian? And I go, yeah, it's Armenian.
Then
Are you
all of a sudden
Armenian?
it's Parev in Spesis.
No. He was super hostile about it. He was like, you don't look Armenian. And I was like, well, you could look deeply into my eyes and I'll sell you a rug. But then he was like, so who's Armenian? And I said, because I said I'm half Armenian. And he goes, so who's Armenian? I go, my dad. And he goes, oh, then you are Armenian.
I love that. There's so many weird rules about ethnicity like that. Like, like it's the same thing. Like if you're Jewish, like if your father was Jewish, then the family's Jewish and all this.
No,
like that.
it's the
opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite for Jews. It's so weird. Like there's so many weird rules about that.
It's called racism.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason for him to get all up in my case. Because, with the Armenian thing, he's right. I don't speak Armenian. I can do church and food. You want me to make some manta? I can do it. I can make some kufta. I can make some pilaf. But other than that, I can go, and I was in choir for 10 years, so I can sing along with all.
I grew up at Calvary Armenian Congregational Church in San Francisco.
A congregational? What does that mean?
It just means a lot of us, I think is what that translates into. And, there aren't a lot of Armenian churches in San Francisco, so this is one of them. And I grew up hardcore in the church, like really just, I'm one of the only guys from my age group who left and didn't go to seminary.
Oh, okay, but you were altar boy
a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I taught Sunday school for a little while.
So did I.
Yeah, when I was like in late high school years, like junior, senior.
Because who wants to sit through a 3.5 hour service? You're like, no, I will either be in Sunday school choir or I will teach Sunday school, so I don't have to pop up and down forever.
And can you speak Armenian?
No.
Yeah, I can barely. Like, I used to be able to do better, but like, because I grew up with my hardcore Armenian grandparents living with us.
Oh, okay.
So I used to be able to speak when I was a kid, but my grandparents passed away when I was in my teens. So
bastards.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that you lost it.
Yeah,
it's
it was really inconvenient for me.
Were they awesome?
Died. Oh, they were great.
They were so great.
Yeah, it was funny. My parents are smart but not well read. They're not bookish people.
Sure.
And my grandfather was an architect in Beirut.
Okay.
So he was
super educated.
Oh yeah, he illegally designed a lot of the Armenian jewelry stores in San Francisco, which I think is hilarious. And sometimes I'll think, and I'm just like, I was adopted. And then I'll remember my grandfather. I'm like, oh,
it just
that makes
skips
sense
a generation.
Yeah.
That's all. Because you're a little bookish. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I'm bookish, and like I'm more meticulous than my parents are. And like my grandfather moved here and became a carpenter. That's what they call an unlicensed architect from another country.
Okay, yeah, it's more handyman kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's there's the skill level of any number of Filipino ladies who are nurses who then come here and wash clothes for a living, or do hospice care because that's the only work they can get. But they're fully trained RNs, and so okay. So that's the Armenian, and then we met doing the stand-up comedy. You actually contacted me to see if I would do the weird pool hall.
Yes, because honestly, I just wanted an excuse to work with you.
Okay, because you knew that I was Armenian, or because you saw the stand-up?
I'm just a fan of your stand-up.
Okay. I was like, because I thought it was, and yeah. So then, yes, and you usually, and so your dorkdom. Let's finally get into it.
Yeah.
What the heck? Let's bring it out. Which is cigars.
Cigars. I'm a big, I have the habits of an 80-year-old man.
So you smoke cigars.
I do.
What? How did that start?
Well, my grandfather was a cigar guy.
Okay.
My dad was never a smoker. My dad was an athlete. And so my grandfather smoked cigars when I was a kid, and I loved the aroma of it and the scent of it. And then when I got to college and I was studying theater.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
I went to a JC in the East Bay.
Right.
Diablo Valley College. I did a lot of theater stuff there. Then I was going to transfer to a 4-year, and then that's when I first started getting road opportunities as a comedian.
Okay.
And I'm like,
never mind.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I'm a big dude. I'm like, I'm never going to play the lead in anything.
Right.
Until Kevin James dies, my career is going nowhere.
I was hoping I would take his place. I'm willing to be the female Kevin James.
I might have to destroy you now.
So you started doing stand-up and okay.
Yeah, I started doing stand-up when I was 17.
Okay.
Which is funny. It became a much better fit for me than acting was, because my acting career is a celebration of mediocrity, it turns out.
Excellent.
And I just fell in love with stand-up, and I was going to go to SF State to continue studying theater and film there, because I never thought I was going to be a comedian. I thought I was going to be the next, Woody Allen or realistically Kevin Smith.
Okay. But it was always comedy.
Yes.
Comedy theater.
That's the thing, is that I'm also a comedy nerd. Like, it's fun. My father loved stand-up.
Oh, did he?
So I got exposed to it at a really young age. At 8 to 10, I was listening to Dangerfield and Jackie Mason and all these guys.
Okay, so he liked all of the 60s guys anyway.
Yeah,
60s and early 70s. And
yeah, I think the first album I ever listened to in its entirety was Dangerfield's No Respect vinyl. Because my father had, and I would listen to it all the time.
And it cracked him up? He just loved that album? And then you were on board?
Yeah, I got so into it.
It's a very basic... I met him one time, but it's a very basic setup punch, right?
It is, yeah.
And
it's just an hour of just set up jokes. And I love it. And now I can't do the story form stuff now.
Okay.
Because that's not how jokes write in my head.
Okay. Yeah. Well, everybody writes jokes differently, right? So you end up doing. So he was one of your early. Yeah. The first ones.
Like Jackie's seen before, I always perform in a suit and tie when I'm on stage.
Yep.
And it's because all my favorite comics were that era, or like that Ed Sullivan era, and they're always suit and tie.
Right.
And it's a good look for a big dude, it turns out.
It really cleans up a guy.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, and
there isn't a female equivalent of it.
I don't think so.
Because if I put a pantsuit on, Paula Poundstone, God love her, she should dress down. There's no way that works.
There's a weird dynamic. It's either you go if you dress up with a tie and things like that as a woman, you're either a cigarette girl or Paula Poundstone. There's no in between of it.
Well, it's super butch.
Yeah.
Or even like I saw Ellen the other day and she was wearing a tie.
Yeah.
But you can't even wear just like a regular lady pantsuit.
Yeah.
Lady pantsuit, it makes you look like everyone's 52 years old and then you're the mother of 3. Yeah. But with guys, you look handsome, you look genuinely dapper, it brings it up a notch.
Yeah, well, what's funny is that I've been wearing suits and doing the cigar thing since I was 18.
Okay.
And so
Where do you get your suits, if I might?
Well, now I get good ones.
You get a bit of a suit snob?
I wouldn't say that.
Would you like to be a suit snob?
I would love so much. I would love to just open up to a Batman closet of the same suit, just lined up.
All beautiful gray. What's your favorite color
black.
suit?
It's just black.
Oh, you like a black suit?
A comedian friend of mine, a very funny cat from here in SF, Joseph Anlin, said, I've devoted my adult life to looking like Otho from Beetlejuice.
Okay, which I never saw Beetlejuice. It's amazing. I know it's one of the great movies of all time.
Well, just black suit, black shirt, and a red tie, which is a Dangerfield homage.
Okay.
I love the red, the power tie.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
All right.
It's just I'm a big dude in all black. Good plan.
All right,
It's
good
always
plan.
gonna work.
It's always going to work.
Yeah, I tape, the one thing I spend a lot of money on are my suits.
Okay.
The suits, and I used to drink like a fish, and I don't anymore. The cigars are the only vice I put money into anymore.
Okay, excellent.
And, it's funny, like I taped a DVD in October.
Okay.
And I told the crowd this. I'm like, I was going to try and lose weight for this because it was me on camera.
Right.
And no, I just spent $1,500 on a bigger suit.
Right.
That's what I ended up doing.
So you bought a really nice suit.
Oh, yeah. It's a suit that didn't exist before I had it made.
Okay, you had a suit made?
Yes.
And where do you go to get a suit made?
Well, there's
you go
a place...
to someone Armenian?
No, I don't. Because where I live, there aren't a lot of Armenians. I live in the East Bay area, in Walnut Creek, Concord area.
Oh, right.
And there are not a lot of us.
Okay.
There are not a lot of Armenians there.
But did you go to immigrants for your suit?
I did. She was, I believe she was Lebanese, so close enough.
Okay. Yeah, Middle Eastern. There was a fattoush available.
It wasn't, she screwed it up a little bit, so I don't want to plug the place on here.
Fair enough.
But I don't want to.
What was wrong with it?
Oh, just like, I realized that when I went like this, like the sleeves were a little too short. She screwed that up.
Oh, when you stretch your arms out, the sleeves are just a hair too.
Physical this thing when I'm on a podcast.
Right. Yeah. Radio show. It's yesterday I went to the San Francisco Zoo, which would have been great with a camera. Anyway.
Oh, no, I went to the zoo for the first time in years. I took my stepson to the zoo. It's his first trip to the zoo ever.
Okay.
Which blew my mind for some reason. I'm like, how have you never been to the zoo?
14?
He's like, because I'm 3. Yeah, that's why I've never been to the zoo before.
Oh, he's 3.
Yeah, he's 3 and never been to the zoo, but for some reason the idea of never having been to a zoo before just boggled my mind.
Yeah, 3, he gets a pass on that. 13, 22, different.
Yeah.
So, how did he enjoy the zoo?
Oh, he loved it. I don't know if he was more entertained or I was.
Probably you.
Well, my inner child runs the place. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's why I do things like, stand up instead of finishing a degree and things like that, because I'm full of good decisions.
Okay. Well, no, I wanted to do stand up instead too. So, but the thing about the suit, so you always get black suits.
I always get black suits.
And
it just kind of became my thing.
And you spend a fair amount of money having them made, or like when you buy, do you ever buy them off?
In the last like 2 years, yeah.
What are they made out of?
Well, the one I had made for the DVD taping and everything was cashmere. It was nice.
Cashmere.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
wool
why it was.
suit.
That was really. It was, but a really thin, soft, and
okay.
Yeah, it was. That's why it was so expensive, because it was completely handmade.
Right.
And it was a really expensive material. I'm like, I really want to have a really great suit. Because I'm still me.
Yeah.
But at least people will say like, but that was a good suit.
Right, he looked nice. He looked nice. But
always
that's
look
great.
better than your audience, right? I think Steve Martin said that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anything about Steve Martin. I saw him in Parent Trap or Parenthood or whatever. LA Story. I saw that.
Yeah.
And but who's the but like regular suits, are they all wool too, or are they hot?
They can be, which is why my persona in the summertime is a pain in the ass.
Right.
Because I don't do well in the heat in a t-shirt and shorts.
And you can't do like a linen suit because they wrinkle so much.
No, you can't do stuff like that. And I'm really
a black linen suit would be weird.
Yeah,
that would be.
Eventually, I'm just going to go crazy and become homeless. Just wear a potato sack with a tie around it.
Black.
Yeah.
Red tie.
Of course.
Excellent. And
well, it's funny. It's like the suits got progressively better. Like when I first started wearing suits, it was a suit I had going back to my grandparents. My father bought me this really nice suit for my grandmother's funeral.
Okay.
And I turned that frown upside down, I guess, and started wearing it on stage and wearing it when I was doing stand-up. And
was it the first black suit? Was it a black suit? Because it was the funeral suit.
The only suit I had before that I absolutely loved is I was in high school. I was in a production of the female version of The Odd Couple.
Okay, so there were 2 women leads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's set in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And instead of the 2 British sisters, they're 2 Castilian Spanish brothers. And I was one of said brothers.
Okay.
So the suit, they actually had a suit made for me to wear in the show.
Nice.
And it was a double-breasted leopard print suit, which is the greatest thing I've ever said in my life. And I still have that suit.
Do you still have a picture of yourself in it? Because we could put it in the notes, my friend.
I will. Remind me to email you that to me. I will definitely will. And a little 16-year-old Greg Asdourian in a leopard print suit, and it's like a black leopard print. It's so weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the best part is somebody dared me to wear it to homecoming that year. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm going
You
alone.
don't even
Why
have
not?
to. You don't have to dare me.
Yeah,
I want to wear this all the time.
exactly.
It's like my Amelia Earhart. You don't have to dare me. I'll fucking bring that out anytime.
I know. It was such a great, and it was one of those things that kind of defined my lack of giving a shit what other people think about what I do.
Yeah.
And it was nice. A date and pussy might have been nice at homecoming too.
Sure. What the heck?
You take what you can get.
All right. And so what about? So do you usually? I don't even know if we can hear that. Somebody's zooming outside the window. Good for them. Anyway, do you? So is it mostly wool suits? Is the question?
Yeah, different blends, and there's polyester blends and stuff like that.
Okay, so like a wool polyester blend, so it isn't quite as heavy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna wear something like one of the Kings of Comedy, it's gonna be purple and green, and
right.
If you're dressing like a Batman villain, it's probably gonna be more of a blend, like one of the synthetic
right
fibers and stuff like that.
But for the summer, it'd be nice to have something that wasn't quite all wool kind of situation. But do you usually wear the cashmere suit on stage now?
Yes.
Or do you? Oh, okay. So you didn't just save it for the DVD taping?
No. At any given time, I have like 4 or 5 suits that are just
rotation
that are used front stage, and I usually have like 2 at the cleaners at any given time and stuff like that. Because it is surprisingly cheap to dry clean a suit.
Oh, is it?
And I don't know why people always complain about I have to do my dry cleaning and all this stuff. And I'm like, really? Because I have multiple suits, so I just have, so I'm always wearing a clean suit.
Right.
My
Thank
biggest
God.
pet peeve is like guys who wear suits that clearly have not been cleaned in a while. I'm like,
yeah.
What are you, a savage? Like,
Andy, he went to his first strip joint
nice.
ever. He went to a bachelor party in Chicago, and he had never been to a strip joint because every other bachelor party he had ever been to had been a board game bachelor party where they just played fancy board games and or mundane. But usually, his friends like a nice board game.
I'm going to compromise. I'm going to play Halo with a stripper.
Oh, there you go. All right. But he's never, and he had never been, but he's a game designer, so he walks in, and I get a text from him like an hour later saying, "What is this game?" And I was like, "The game of strip joint? I don't think that's a game. I think it's just watching noodly ladies dance."
Why does your husband talk like the Riddler?
He does. Everything's a game to him. It's sort of, I've been realizing this is everybody who's really into their work, who's really into their art or their dorkdom or whatever they're into. Like, I'm constantly thinking about comedy. Yeah. That's all I'm thinking about, right? He's only thinking about games. And that's how he interacts with the world. So at one point he goes, "Here's something I've noticed is that all the men who work here are wearing ill-fitting suits." It's his pet peeve. And I was like, "Oh, okay, so the men..."
Same thing, ill-fitting suits bother the heck out of me, too.
As well, yeah. I thought they would. You're just like, well, you don't know a tailor? You can't get that taken in a little bit? It's not that expensive to get something taken in.
If you have a really nice suit and you wear it like it's a costume from the Spirit store, I'm not going to talk to you.
What's the Spirit store?
Oh, those Halloween stores.
Okay.
If it just, it's the concept of the Superman costume looks like Superman's pajamas.
Okay.
Because it doesn't fit right.
It doesn't fit
it's all
it
awkward.
Okay.
I'm not.
You're not wearing a costume. You're actually dressed in clothing that should fit you.
Do you have to return that suit to your father's grave? Is that what this is, or? Is it a close enough match, or what Goodwill box did this come out of? I say that like I'm a creature of any kind of success in the entertainment world at all, but
the thing is what you do care about is if the damn thing fits. You want the thing to fit. So that's not success. That's just a thing.
Being a big dude at every stage of my life, and we're having to deal with the stuff that sometimes stuff doesn't fit.
Right.
I learned the term moobs at a really young age.
Moobs, man boobs?
Yeah, man boobs.
People are not nice.
They are not nice. That's how you make a comedian.
Yeah, that's those are assholes. I don't like all the weird new words for bullshit. And you're like, and most of them are horrifying towards women. And you're like, I'm good. Why don't you just? I would rather be called an asshole than a bitch because I know what you think you're saying when you say bitch, and it's so very specifically anti-female that. True. If I'm just being some sort of jackass, just say I'm being a jackass or an asshole. And then we can all be humans together instead of you also diminutizing my gender as a whole.
Yeah, no, I have the luxury of being with a feminist lawyer.
Oh, right. That's your partner, right? Is your lady.
So saying any of those things, absolutely terrifying.
Oh, deal breaker, man. She would, I had a friend of mine who said that her fiance called her a bitch the other day, and she said, that will break us up. because that it is not, it's so incredibly specific, and it'd be like, it's not, there's no comparable male thing to it. Like calling a guy a dick, every guy's like, yeah, I'm kind of a dick sometimes, because it's more genderless.
Yeah.
You're just, and there's, you know, and then women who call other women sluts and whores just sort of open the door for all men to call them sluts and whores and to use the word sluts and whores. And you're like, I don't think you understand what you're doing with your joke hole.
And that's what's funny, the joke hole, which is another word for that.
Yes.
No, it's funny. The same thing with that is that, like, I try to, like, I don't like making fun of people.
Right.
I don't, because I was made fun of a lot throughout my life. I can still remember names of people.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And there's a list. That I don't have the motivation or the wherewithal to do anything with that list, but there's a list.
Right. But you know, 20 years from now, they may want to friend you on some future version of Facebook, and you're like, no, actually.
Yeah. I've had more teachers try and friend me on Facebook than, like, former
I was a huge nerd for teachers.
Yeah.
Teachers loved me.
Oh, yeah. One of my best friends now is a former English teacher who got me writing when I was in high school.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. When I met Stan Lee a couple months ago, he was with me.
Right, I saw that picture of you and Stan Lee. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
he's
awesome.
not in mint condition anymore.
No, he's got to be in his late 70s, right?
No, he's 80s. He's 84, I believe.
Okay, that's genuinely old.
Yeah. It's like Mommy Returns feeling.
Right.
Like
I don't necessarily like doing mean comedy about other people, and then I don't like self-deprecating comedy. I'm willing to acknowledge what I look like in passing, because the audience is like, okay, she should probably know that that's what she looks like. But I don't go into it. I mean, there's no reason to beat myself up either.
No,
right?
See, my thing was, my whole persona is very self-deprecating, because it's just like, and it's that very Dangerfield-esque kind of thing, is that, like, everyone else says I'm a loser, but I'm going to beat them to it, and I'm going to own it, and I'm going to turn it into a positive to an extent. Like, when I was listening to my new DVD that I recorded,
what's it called?
It's going to be called 50 Shades of Greg.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
It's going to be my red tie on the cover.
Excellent. And when will it be released?
The CD will be out soon, because we're releasing it as an audio CD. That'll be on iTunes before Christmas. And
okay.
I think the DVD
this
will
month
be out.
Then. All right.
Yeah, and the DVD will be out probably beginning of January.
And so, GregAsdourian.com?
GregAsdourian.com. It'll be on iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff.
I'll link the hell out of it. Good.
Yes. And, you know, I think this is your line. That's like, and, you know, tens of people will watch it.
That's stock. You knock yourself out. And so it's a career on fire stock.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What's funny is that I have another CD that I recorded a couple years ago, and that one is going to be called Sometimes a Cigar is Just a Cigar.
Okay.
And I forgot, or that joke didn't hit for the first time in like 5 years.
Right.
And I thought on stage, wow, I'm going to have to change the title of the damn CD now. And I did the same thing for this one. The Mr. Popularity was going to be the original title of my CD, or my new DVD, because I have a joke about how, like, when you're, you know, if you want to feel thin, you hang around with big people.
Okay.
So call me Mr. Popularity. That was not a great joke,
right.
a little throwaway joke.
Right.
And that was going to be the title of the DVD.
Yeah.
And I forgot to do the joke.
Oops.
And I realized that when I listened to it, I'm like, I'm going to have to change the damn title again. So I'm 2 for 2 on screwing up titles.
Oops. Yeah, there's nothing to be done.
Yeah.
It's, my last DVD, the first 1,000 I printed, didn't have the title track on it. And then the label re-released it with the title track on it. So if you have it's never going to be Bread. There's nothing. I just call it Bread. But if you have my last album and it does not have the bread joke on it, I owe you $1, because you should go on iTunes and buy track number 7 or whatever on the Stand Up Records version of it, which has it on there. Yeah. Anyway.
No, that's what I was trying to get to.
Please. We're reading off a lot, but go, let's do it.
Is that, like, I don't like to make fun of people.
Right.
Because, you know, I make fun of myself a lot, but I don't make fun of other people unless you heckle me, and then I'll make you fucking cry.
Right.
But I will make fun of someone in a bad suit.
Oh, right, you will.
That's the one thing
that drives you mad, and you're like, dude, you can't. You can't. And the thing is that fun making, or is that just really being of service? You know, in my family, we like to make fun of you, hoping you'll change. So that might be, maybe you're just trying to help. I used to do more self-deprecating stuff. I think it's a sign it's an early. I mean, I don't know. You've been doing stand up what 7 years? Or?
It'll be 10 in February.
Almost 10.
Actually,
yeah. And I'm 100 million years old and been doing it forever. So I think of the first 10 years as sort of the early times of doing stand-up comedy, which doesn't make any sense because everybody's comedy is as valid as the next person's, you know? And, what I do, because I used to do more self-deprecating stuff, and it would make people in the audience uncomfortable and sad for me. And so I did it, and I still do a couple of those things, but I think that it's to reach inside and find that stuff that hurts you and bring it out and talk about it.
Yeah.
Really, because I think that the instinct is really good.
Well, for me, the first hour I ever had was just nothing like I'm fat. It's just I'm fat, and this. That's why this is awkward.
1,000 fat jokes. Yeah.
And which is gonna be the title of the autobiography, by the way.
Right.
1,000 fat jokes.
Right.
So like and now I don't write those anymore.
Right.
It has to be a really good fat joke for me to write it.
Right. It's cathartic.
Yeah.
And but then, yeah. I used to try to do stuff about it, but right now I'm opening my set with something along the lines of I'm overweight. You may consider it addressed. Because I don't have any fat jokes about it, but we've addressed it, and now I can talk to you about, I don't know, my obsession with reading.
Yeah.
Which is what my current favorite 15 minutes is on. But
I love that bit. I've heard you do it
that'll be on my
now.
new album, Very Glamorous. And let's get to good cigars, though.
Okay.
So, your grandfather smoked cigars. Did he smoke those Menudos? Did he smoke Menudos?
He did. He really liked R&Js, Romeo and Julietas.
Okay, Juliana's?
Julietas. There's Romeo and Julietas.
And where
they're
are they
really
made?
great cigar label. They come in a couple of, they're Cuban R&Js, there's Honduran ones and Dominican ones. Because after they've embargoed Cuba, everybody's, let's find similar tropical places to start growing our tobacco. And
Right.
like
We'll take our plants and from Cuba, plant them somewhere else, and they'll still taste different, I assume?
They'll still taste different, but like really good, actually. There's a lot of Dominican cigars that I like better than Cubans. And there are a lot of crappy Cubans out there. Cuban doesn't mean good. That's the common misconception.
Yeah.
Like Napa Valley doesn't mean good wine.
Right. It can be any number of kinds of wines, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, so... there are a lot of cigars I love. There's this cigar club I go to in Walnut Creek, California. I'm going to plug them because I love the place. Casa Bellicoso.
Okay.
And they're on Northwood. They're right down the street from my little weird barroom show.
Okay.
And they're this great cigar club, and I'm a member there, and I'm the only member, or I'm probably the youngest member by 20 years.
Okay. Because everybody else is just a bunch of older guys just hanging out having cigars.
It's like if there weren't women in there, it would be the He-Man Woman Hitters Club, is what it looks like almost.
Are there women?
There are women.
Okay.
There are few things in this world as hot as a beautiful woman smoking a cigar.
All right. That is something you enjoy.
Yes.
All right.
Which is why I am getting married, because my lady loves smoking cigars with me.
Right.
It's great.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons I am completely
that you fell for?
Yeah.
All right. That's neat.
And what's funny is I love this cigar club because they have a humidor room the size of this hotel room.
Okay.
And so it's like this gigantic room and wall-to-wall cigars. So
a humidor room is clearly something dealing with the humidity of how cigars are stored?
Yeah, because you want to keep cigars stored in some place, where really specific humidity, because that way they stay moist and they don't dry out.
Okay. Is that the biggest problem with cigars? Do they dry out?
People don't store cigars well. You buy a little humidor box, which is a wood box that's designed to keep the inside nice and humid.
Okay. And is it electric or is it?
No. It's just they've had them for hundreds of years now.
Okay.
And they're just made a certain way. A lot of newer ones will have a little hydrometer built into it.
Okay. Oh, so that you can see how humid it actually is and try to keep it in the right spot in your house or something?
Yes, exactly. I'm getting way more passionate about this.
No, that's good. That's what I dare you to bore me with the minutia, my friend. Do it.
Yeah. And I just, it's funny, this cigar club is actually the only place on earth that physically sells my album. It's kind of hilarious.
Okay.
I love this place. And, it's really entertaining.
And do they carry all different kinds of cigars? Or?
They do, yeah. They carry, all different kinds, all the kinds they can legally get. But, here's the thing, is that it's really easy to get Cuban cigars. I'm not saying I do this.
Right. But, this is not legal advice.
Yeah. I've been some friends of mine have been up to Vancouver. And
right.
what you do
you
is
can bring them in.
You buy the Cubans there, and you take the labels off. And they're not going to do a lab test at customs to see if they're Dominican or Cuban cigars.
And how many do they bring in? They only bring in like a dozen or something.
Yeah, I bring in like a box which has like 25 usually.
Okay, and are they the long ones or do you the short ones?
Well, it depends on my mood. I'm kind of a size queen though.
Right.
I like really big cigars, big ring gauge. Usually
which are like 8 inches long, aren't they, or something?
Well, no. Like, they usually be about 6 inches, and the 60 ring gauge will be about that thick or something like that.
What's the diameter?
I don't know. Maybe like a quarter and a third. Like a 1 1/3
A little bigger than a quarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I like a big cigar. Like, another pet peeve is, like, if you smoke a Black and Mild or something cheap like that around me, I'm going to make fun of you, too.
Okay.
Like, when you, like, I'll walk up to somebody, like, if you decide you're not going to be a sorority girl anymore and you want a real cigar, you let me know.
Yeah, my brother will often make fun of the fact that I take cream in my coffee. He's like, you could drink coffee like a person, or you could just have
Who just drinks black coffee? What are they, a Quaker?
He's a man. I don't know. He's just like, I don't understand why don't you just have a hot cocoa? I have a couple of friends who make fun of the fact that I take cream in my coffee.
And I can brush my teeth with baking soda, but I'm not going to do it. Like,
but it's comparable because they're just like he's a coffee snob, is what I'm saying. And so there's good cigars and there's mediocre cigars.
Yeah.
And what's a like if somebody wanted to start smoking a cigar? Because now's the time to get into the cancer game. Now it is. Let's do it.
Yeah, Obamacare is going in.
Exactly.
This is the time to get cancer.
This is it.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot commodity in about 6 months. So you get on it now. Let's see. My favorite labels are like La Gloria.
L.A. 2 words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
La
L.A.
Gloria.
and then La Gloria. The full name is La Gloria de Cubana.
Okay.
Great label. Rocky Patel is a really great label. They've been around for 20 years now, I think, something like that, maybe a little less.
Okay.
But they're a newer label, but they're great. One of my favorite cigars is their vintage 2009, I think. It's like they were all made in 2009, and they're getting harder and harder to find over time. But
like wine?
Yeah.
Is that a thing too?
Yeah, you can age cigars and like.
And then try them and go, this is a 2009. If they're stored correctly, I suppose you can.
They'll last forever, really.
All right.
Because it's not like the tobacco plants are alive or anything. There's,
right.
As long as they're stored properly, they'll last.
So are they all just? Is it just a pile of tobacco leaves that are rolled together? Is that how you make?
Yes, they're different types. They're different. Because
they're not shoved with
types.
tobacco.
No. Yeah, it's literally they're literally just rolled and rolled and rolled on top of each other.
Okay.
And then the outer layer is different. That's the wrapper layer is going to be a different plant, and it's really hard to explain. I'm showing her visuals, which is great for you guys listening.
Right.
And I'm up here like I'm a deaf interpreter. Like
right. Yeah, you're using your hands.
Yeah.
But no, so it's all tobacco leaves rolled super tight.
Yeah.
Surrounded by some other plant.
Yeah. I look forward
like
to
a grape leaf?
somebody emailing you with a better explanation of this.
Well, I'm sure someone is yelling at their iPod right now. It's called a thingity-bob. And you're like, excellent. Well, you should email me at jackie@jackiecation.com. Knock yourselves out.
And it's funny because they roll the different layers. There's the filler, which is the main part of the inside.
Right.
Then there's the wrapper, which is the outer part, and then there are different parts of the cigar's anatomy. Like there's the head, there's the
main
clip.
body, or
there's like the main body of the smoke, and also like their cigars are spiced and seasoned in different ways, which I love.
What do you mean?
Like there are some that have like darker blends, like a Maduro cigar, which is going to be like a visibly darker cigar,
right?
Almost like almost black.
Yeah.
Those are ones that are going to be generally spicier, have a little bit more of a bite to them.
Do they add stuff to the leaf, or is it the way the leaves are grown?
A little of both.
Okay.
They do add things to the process when the leaves are drying and fermenting and all that.
Okay, so they can sprinkle them with whatever, right?
Exactly.
Okay, like a cayenne or a black pepper.
Yeah, it's like there are different ways that they, for lack of a better term, spice the cigars.
Okay.
And I love them. I love the really darker ones.
Mm-hmm. What do they taste like? Black licorice or?
No. Just like it's gonna taste like.
Are they sweet?
It's hard to say. It's like it's gonna taste like a cigar, but it's gonna have like more of a bite to it, more of a burn.
Okay.
If you've never smoked a cigar before, don't start with Maduros.
Okay.
It's going to put you off and you're going to be like, oh, this is horrible.
You're going to choke and cough.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. Yeah. And all of you listening that are going to try this, don't inhale a cigar for the love of God. Don't inhale a cigar.
Don't inhale them.
You don't inhale a cigar.
So what do you do?
You just puff on it and enjoy the taste and the aroma and just blow it out.
Okay.
You don't inhale it into your lungs. Cigar is way too harsh, way too dark to do that. It's not like smoking a cigarette.
You're not exhaling out of your nose like a cigarette or a pot?
No. You're just literally just puffing on it and blowing it out, and just enjoy the aroma, enjoy the taste. Don't inhale it, or you will yak.
You will get ill. You will become, you'll get sick, I bet.
Yes.
I've never tried a cigar myself, so.
Yeah. And all of my nerdy pot smokers out there that want to try a cigar too, don't do both at once.
Why?
It won't end well.
Oh, because it'll taste weird? Or?
No, it'll also make you sick.
Oh, okay.
The only time I've ever gotten sick from a cigar in my life
was when you were high.
When I was smoking pot. I don't smoke pot often either.
Right.
I'm kind of a little girl when it comes to stuff like that. I'm really not into it. And it really made me really sick, just horrendously sick.
Okay.
To combining the two. I had a roommate once cut open like a $20 cigar and like fill it with pot and roll the blunt out of it, and I almost threw him out of our place. Like,
because it just felt like such a waste.
Yes.
Was he a cigar smoker?
He was not.
Okay, so he didn't know. So he was like, well,
I believe deviant is the word for him.
Well, you're like, you like cigars. I like pot. Maybe we can do this together.
No, that's way more thought than this guy put into it.
Oh yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, totally.
He might have been, but so how long does it take to smoke a 6-inch cigar?
For me, I'll usually smoke one in like 30 minutes or something like that. Most people like probably 45.
Okay, so you puff the heck out of a cigar for it can be an hour.
It can be, yeah.
Okay, so you can sit around and have a beverage and just smoke a cigar.
Exactly. One of my favorite things to do in this world is sit down with a good scotch and a cigar.
Okay.
And talk about elephants I've shot on the Serengeti or something.
Excellent.
Like that. Yeah.
Excellent. It's a very Hemingway kind of moment. Very glamorous.
Yeah, it's just me and I'm just imagining I'm sitting next to Alan Quartermain.
Who's Alan Quartermain? I forget who that is.
British explorer, like fictional British explorer.
Okay.
I think he's fictional. I might be wrong about that.
Okay.
Like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay. Oh, that's
Alan Quartermain.
Oh,
that just paints a picture for you.
That's very fictional. If he's in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I'll link him in the notes.
There you go.
And so that's okay. So there's they wrap them and then they do that and then they dry them.
Yes.
Do they roll them wet and then dry them, or roll them when they're freshly cut?
There are a couple different ways they're done.
Okay.
A couple of different ways they're done. Like they're hung. The leaves are hung.
First.
You've seen a tobacco leaf. They're gigantic.
No.
Okay. They're about the size
like
of acacia.
3 feet.
Yeah. They're about, we'll use Jackie as a scale.
5'4".
Yeah. They're about acacia tall.
All right. So they're over 5 feet tall.
Yeah. If you're ever driving through Kentucky and you see these weird gigantic leaves, that's tobacco.
Okay.
And they'll take them and they'll dry them complete. Like there'll be these huge rooms. Well, they'll just have hundreds of tobacco leaves just drying out.
Okay.
Then that's when the like seasoning process and things like that began. And
they'll throw salt in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Salt and whisper sweet nothings. That's how they prepare them.
Okay.
And they'll do that, and it's all done by hand too. Like it's.
There's no machinery to do this?
No, not with quality cigars.
Okay.
There are a lot of American crappy ones that are like sold.
That are just churned out from some machinery?
Like cigars you can get at 7-Eleven or made by machines and things like that. But real cigars are completely handmade. I used to do a joke on stage, like, I don't smoke until if a small Honduran family died making it. That's
excellent.
Because I'm a man of the people.
Exactly. It's like you're always trying to look out for the little guy.
Yeah.
And, okay.
And so it's they do this whole hand process. So everything's done by hand. Most of the bigger companies will just have that stamped on, like, just like branded, like, just like handmade cigars.
Oh, okay. So you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you can tell. Anything you're going to buy at a reputable cigar place is going to be handmade. They're not going to sell anything that isn't there.
Okay, and those are like smoke shops, right?
Yeah,
those
like
are
smoke shops. Like a lot of head shops that sell like pot stuff will sell cigars too.
Right.
If you really want a cigar, don't go to those places because they don't know what they're doing.
Okay. It's just a side
cigars,
business it's like the gum to them. They're just selling mints and gum and cigars.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, it's like, oh, so you talked your dad into buying you a water pipe, quote unquote.
Right.
He's going to look at cigars while you're in there. Okay. And, like, there's this great store in Concord, California, and it's weird. It's like they went into a 12-year-old's mind and designed a store.
Is it a mix of Hot Topics and Spencer Gifts?
It's kind of Hot Topics, Spencer Gifts, plus a head shop where they have water pipes and bongs. And they sell cigars, but they also sell BB guns and like paintball stuff.
Oh.
It's so weird. And
all right, well, you had me at BB guns, quite honestly. I love a BB gun.
It's such a weird, chaotic mess.
It isn't the place to go to get a decent cigar.
Not at all. I'm not going to say the name of the place, but it's like go to a cigar club. When you
work the road, do you look around for a cigar shop?
If I'm on the road for a long period of time, like longer than a week, then yeah, I'll try to find places. Normally, I have a metal humidor, like a little metal travel humidor that I take with me.
Okay.
It looks like the box the Tesseract got put into, if that paints a picture for all of you listening.
Which I always think of that's the those cases for Deal or No Deal. That's what I always thought that they were putting the Tesseract in, and I was like, guys, you could have done something.
Yeah, I've got a cigar humidor that looks like it should be handcuffed to a secret agent.
Or a model.
Yeah.
And do you if you fly, you got to check that, right?
Yeah,
or can you?
I usually just put it in my luggage, and it's always opened.
Oh, right. And the TSA, there's always a TSA card in it saying, we had to look at this.
Yeah, and at one time, I was missing 2 cigars. It annoyed the hell out of me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, thank you, Idaho. I'm still annoyed about that.
Right.
If you're a cigar guy and you're traveling and you have a butane cigar torch, empty it. Make sure it's completely empty. Don't have there be any fuel in it, because they will confiscate it. And I always
How much do they cost?
Anywhere between, $10 and $3,000 something.
Okay, so
like my grandfather, because he worked with all these jewelers in San Francisco, and he was a cigar guy. One of the jewelers he worked with gave him a Calibre lighter, which is a really expensive high-end cigar lighter, and it was completely made of gold.
Okay,
that's like a $3,000 cigar lighter. My grandfather left it to me in his will.
Now I think I heard somebody say that you should always light a cigar with a match.
That's like the purest way.
Okay.
You never light a cigar with an oil lighter, like a Bic or a Zippo or something like that. Because for one, you can taste the chemicals in the smoke.
Okay.
When you're doing it, if you don't know better, you wouldn't notice it probably.
Right.
But if you're a cigar guy, well, you know this already.
You want to do this.
You want to do the match. Or what a lot of guys do is they'll take a match and they'll light a piece of cedar.
Okay.
And they'll light the cigar with the burning little strip of cedar wood.
Okay.
That's one way to do it.
But if you have a butane?
Yeah, you can do butane. Butane's odorless and tasteless.
Okay.
You don't notice it. And if you smoke big cigars like I do, it's a really efficient way to get a gigantic cigar burning.
Okay.
So I'm not one of those people that's hardcore about it.
Right. The lighting of it, you're not going to use a Bic, but you don't need a match.
Yeah, if I'm on the roof of the Punchline in San Francisco, I'm not going to light it with a match. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
It's too windy.
Okay.
I'm a realist.
All right.
So I have this, like 3-flame, butane torch that looks like it's designed to cook meth.
Okay, right,
and
sure.
I just whip it out and
Super
light a cigar. And it's kind of all the comedians in San Francisco know if I'm at the show because they can't breathe as they're walking up to the club.
Because they see the cloud of cigar smoke happening. So, but because I know that like when Janeane Garofalo travels and she looks for bead shops, because she's like, whenever she's in a town, she's like, I wonder if there's a cool place, because she does beading. Like she makes beaded bracelets and necklaces and whatnot. That was
her biceps. With her biceps.
That was her dorkdom. Okay, she likes to collect beads and make necklaces and stuff. So she's always looking for some weird crafting store when she goes traveling, right? And I was wondering if you ever did that when you go traveling and look for if there's a cool smoke shop that you can browse.
There is. What's funny is that the smoking laws can be weirdly specific in certain counties and stuff like that. Like, for instance, in Concord, where I live, in the East Bay, you can't smoke. They made an ordinance now where you can't smoke anywhere in downtown.
Okay. Yeah, that's true in Burbank. You can smoke
behind buildings. Yeah, I know. And all the comics that live in Burbank wait to watch you light a cigar so you can get popped for their entertainment.
So nobody warned you?
FU comics at Flappers.
Yes, it was Rihanna Archer just told the story because she taxidermy. Her dorkdom was she taxidermies stuffed animals. She mounts stuffed animal heads on taxidermy boards. It's fucking awesome. It's hilarious.
Interesting. What would she be doing if she wasn't a comedian, I wonder?
But she said she's not even alone. There's a huge community of people who taxidermy stuffed animals. But
in the grand scheme of things, there are a lot of serial killers too. But
sure, she lit a cigarette outside of Flappers, and nobody stopped her. And even people walking by, she said, glared at her, and nobody said anything until a cop came up and said, "What do you think you're doing?" And she was like, "What am I doing? What's happening?" And he goes, "You can't smoke on this side of the street." And she was like, that should be a sign.
Yeah.
And why isn't there a sign?
Yeah, thankfully, the cop let me go when he saw my ID because I'm like, I don't live here. I'm sorry. I'm just here working at the club.
And she's from Canada, so he let her go too.
Yeah, but all the comics just watch. They see you lighting up, and they just wait for you to get popped.
The people just walking by don't say anything either. Yeah. I don't know. That's weird because I would think that's weird. I don't know.
I don't know.
I would bet that they're not even paying attention to you. I'm so sorry.
No, I got applause afterwards from like 4 comedians.
Well, they probably saw after you got pulled over. They were like, "Oh, there he was." But I don't think. I always think to myself, they're not thinking about me, and I'm mostly right that nobody's plotting against me is what I usually think.
Well, call me an optimist then.
Right? Exactly. You're like, what's going to happen? So you like the darker cigars, and you like the And it's not just Cubans.
Yeah, it's not just Cubans. They're good like cigars from all over the world.
Okay.
Generally, if it's not Latin American, then you're probably not going to be worth it. The Cameroon cigars come from Cameroon, Africa, and those are delicious.
Okay.
But again, very dark, very spicy. I don't recommend them for a beginner.
Right.
That's an acquired taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's really good... And because this does kind of remind me of coffee a little bit, because there's like
a lot of similarities between wine, coffee, cigars, scotch, like the way the different treatments and things like that. There's a lot of similarities. And like, do they grow cigars in like Southeast Asia or Hawaii? In Hawaii a little bit. Southeast Asia, not that I know of.
Right.
But that's actually something I'm going to look into now.
Right, because it might
blew my mind.
I might have blown your mind a little bit there, because they have really good coffee from both of those places. Yeah. So you'd think wherever coffee grows, that tobacco would also kind of thrive.
That's really true, actually. So that's something I'm going to look into. I think it's weird. There are these weird, just like with cup of coffee. There's like there's that weird bean that gets crapped out by a puma or something that's worth like.
Wait, there's some sort of coffee that you're supposed to want, and it's in the defecation of some animal.
Yeah, because it ferments in their digestive tract or something like that. Yeah. I'm waiting to find out about a cigar like that.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Some baboon uses this as a nest and leaves waste there, and that's
the spice. That's the beautiful spice. The weirdest thing about coffee to me is I'm not a huge snob about coffee, but. Starbucks always has that Christmas blend that comes out now, and unsubstantiated, I have no idea if this is true, but my theory is that they just take all the leftover beans and sweep them up and put them together, because it's always a mishmash. It's like Ethiopian, Kenyan, Bali, all these different, and I'm like, why wouldn't it?
As far as I know, it is not. I was a barista. Okay. I'm sorry, I was a partner.
Oh, were you a partner over at Starbucks?
Yeah, they call you a partner to make you feel like a winner.
Excellent. I was a Kinkoid, but at Kinko's, but it might not have been. I think we were associates.
Oh, okay.
It's it was like a partnership of some sort where I earned $6.35 an hour.
I also worked for the Picture People, if you remember what that is.
I don't know what that is.
It's a chain of family photo studios.
Okay.
And I worked there for a few years, and there they call you a performer. Which, if you're actually studying theater, Disney. Is the most patronizing thing on earth.
Yeah, that's not cool. And did you take pictures, or were you?
I did. I took pictures. I'm really into photography. That's another thing I love. And before I was doing stand-up full-time, I was doing weddings and things like that. I got.
Do you still take photos?
I do. I still love it.
But just for art, just for yourself, yeah.
Yeah, for myself, in the sense that nobody wants to see them.
Well, and what are they? Are you digital, or do you have?
I am digital. When I started doing weddings, that's when I converted to digital. I love film. Mm-hmm. My parents, when I was still living with my folks, when I was like 18, 19, I put a lot of thought into turning this tool shed they had into a dark room.
Right.
But that takes a lot of money.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Oh, all the chemicals.
Because it has to be super dark, or
well, it has to be super dark, but like also the chemicals and all the equipment to like develop film and things like that.
Okay.
Is a pain in the ass.
And you run through it, and it has to be, and it's expensive to begin with.
Exactly. So you can see how passionate I am about my art.
Well, but I mean, the thing is with the introduction of digital film, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That I think that people have been able to. I mean, I just joined Instagram. I don't give a shit. Why do I have to? Because the pictures aren't as good as on the regular iPad photos.
Yeah.
They're doing something. The pixels are more grainy or something.
Yeah, I think what it is they haven't updated the software on the Instagram.
Okay.
For all the high res cameras now.
Because I don't. It's not a new.
Paying attention now?
No. Well, I don't have a new iPad. I have an iPad Mini.
Okay.
So it's not like the latest high res iPad 3 kind of thing.
I know. We need to get someone from Instagram on this damn podcast now.
Oh yeah.
You need to justify what you're doing.
Come out of the woodwork, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you read? Any? I always ask people if they read any books. Do you have any suit books or cigar books?
Cigar books, I do.
Oh yeah.
People got in the habit of buying me books about cigars for my birthday
sure.
and things like that. And there's a great one. It's called The Complete Guide to Cigars. And I don't know the name of the author.
Is it a coffee table book?
It is a coffee table book.
Okay.
It's not like, but because it's
got photos. I bet.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Like, have you ever seen one of those big, The Complete Guide to a Certain Superhero books?
Yeah.
It's like one of those for cigars. And
Okay.
It's great. It's another reason why I love my lady is because she, without me knowing, stole that book from me and read through it vigorously.
Oh, to sort of catch up.
Yes.
To be part of your life.
So she started, like, dropping... She did that with Dangerfield's biography, too. Like, she stole it from my bedroom and just, like, read it on her own and then started name-dropping, like...
You guys should sleep together.
We should.
Anyway,
we should, yeah.
so you should have just the one bedroom. It'll be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're working on that.
Okay, excellent. And but it is interesting because a lot of couples they say things like, "That's your thing.
Yeah.
You go do your thing and have a good time at it." But I'm a huge fan of. I mean, granted, I'm in the dork forest. I'm curious about other people's dorkdoms.
Yeah.
So whatever Andy wants to do, I'm like, oh, sure, I'll do that. But I'm not as into it as him. I mean, she may not be as into cigars as you are, or Dangerfield as you are.
Well,
or
what's
comedy.
funny is that, we do have our own things. Like, I have, for instance, I have my comic books, and she has Success and Making Money.
Okay. Does she read, did she read Lean In?
She did not.
Does she? Because that's the woman who, the CEO, one of the muckety mucks over at Facebook. It's a great feminist sort of autobiography.
Okay, so it's not like The Secret or something like that.
No. It's an amazing. It's this CEO. She hasn't read it.
Okay.
She has probably heard of it, especially because she is you said she's a feminist lawyer.
She is.
Yeah, so she's probably heard of it.
What's funny is that, like, for all the dorks listening, I tried so hard to get her to like Daredevil because he's a lawyer,
right?
And I'm like, oh, you'll love this, and she's like, this isn't realistic. This is like
no, it is not.
She critiqued the legal writing in the book. That was the best part. That was my favorite thing about her reading it.
Yes, I think. I just had Brandy Brown, a comic from Minneapolis, on, and her dorkdom is the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And she wrote a play about the Supreme Court where Wisconsin repealed the law of gravity, and so she called lawyer friends of hers who were like, the law on that actually doesn't. What are you doing? And they really got into the minutia of the law. And then Sotomayor was on Sesame Street, and doing a sketch on Sesame Street with one of the puppet monsters, right?
Okay.
And I know, Baby Bear and Goldilocks came about the chair. And they wanted Judge Sotomayor to judge who was at fault and what the reparations was. And
that's pretty topical for Sesame Street, actually.
Oh my God, you should. That episode was amazing because I did not know that Sesame Street has the most topical. They have Special Letters Unit, Law and Order Special Letters Unit. The letter M was missing. Home Lamb.
Apparently, Dana Gould is writing Sesame Street now. I guess.
Right. I guess whoever's writing Sesame Street, it's dark and awesome. So
not unlike Dana Gould.
Not unlike Dana Gould, who was awesome and dark. But the whole Daredevil thing. Oh, and Patton Oswalt's wife, Michelle McNamara, was on the show, and she was telling me, because she's a true crime dork, that he walks around with comic books and goes, "It's too bad you don't like comic books because you'd really like this one. This one's about true crime. I don't know if you." And she's like, "I'm not reading it. Get away from me." But I wish she would, because you want everybody to at least try your dorkdom,
well, I got her to watch. I'm getting her into movies now. Like, I got her. We watched all the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
So like, Led to
Iron
Avengers,
Man
or watching
and
Agents
Captain
of
America
S.H.I.E.L.D. now. And
I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's getting a lot of shit online, but I like it.
Yeah, well, that's because it's a thing that exists. That's
I guess it's true. But I mean, even like I thought it seemed relatively credible, so people not hating on it. And I was like, there's not going to be superheroes in it because it's the rank and file, right?
Exactly.
And it always takes a minute for everyone to like the characters, and I like them okay.
And no one likes Joss Whedon stuff until it's canceled anyway. So.
Right. So there you go. Why you got to be a hater?
Exactly.
I genuinely really like it.
Yeah, no, what's funny is that
there's one more episode coming out.
I know. I'm excited. I just caught up on all of them like today.
Oh,
literally.
good.
I hooked up my laptop to my TV and just watched them all.
Excellent.
And I'm really excited, although I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to swing this. My wedding is the day after Captain America comes out.
Ooh,
or Captain
Winter
America 2
Soldier.
comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make that work.
Okay. Yeah, the night of your wedding, you probably can't go to the midnight show.
Yeah, and I can't talk her into going to see it on our honeymoon.
Oh, yeah. You might have to wait.
Yeah.
You know what? It's still going to be out there. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Where are you guys going are you going on your honeymoon right away?
Probably. Like, pretty close to, like...
When are you guys getting married?
We're getting married April 5th.
Congratulations.
Because our first date was April 1st.
Okay.
But that's a Tuesday.
Okay. So April 5th.
Yeah, so April 5th will be that Saturday.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I can't believe I found someone to put up with all my crap.
That'll be beautiful. And she is to be wished luck.
Yes.
And you are to be congratulated, which is, I guess, how that's supposed to... I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about how many comedians are actually going to be invited to my wedding.
Right, well, do you guys know where you're doing it?
It'll be in San Francisco. Early. Yeah, we're looking at places right now. We are, however... Oh, I can't believe I didn't talk about this yet. We are having a Batman wedding.
Oh, that's what I needed to know. I was like, is there going to be a theme?
Yes, we are having a Batman wedding. We are going to be married by my friend Shant Barsoomian, a very Armenian name.
That is very Armenian.
He is.
Are you guys going to be married inside of a well while bats be thrown at you?
Well, we're trying to figure out a place to have the ceremony, but and this is funny, my fiance wants us to be married by him dressed as Batman.
Okay.
However, he is 5'6". Okay. So it's not going to be a big Batman.
And pocket Batman. Let's do this.
Yeah, but if we're going to do it, I want him to go all out. I want the voice like, dearly beloved, we are gathered here. Like, I want him to do the voice and everything. Like, we're trying to find the right ratio of Batman and not tacky.
Right.
Like, she's not going to wear a veil. She's going to wear a little lace domino Catwoman mask.
Okay.
Instead of a veil. And like,
so she sounds like a giant dork as well.
She is, but in
That's
so
awesome.
many different ways. Like, she's a big Star Wars dork, which is a great thing. Like her car has her as a stormtrooper and a little stormtrooper next to it.
Okay.
As her son.
Adorable.
And, yeah. It's great. And like, she's amazing. Every time I look at her, I'm like, when you wish upon a star, because it's just like, I never thought I'd meet a girl this perfect.
Very adorable. Greg Asdourian, it's been an hour. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is neat. Everybody, at Greg Asdourian on Twitter, Greg Asdourian, standupcomedy.com. New DVD coming out in CD, so tune in, folks, and thanks for listening. Take care out there. Bye. Well, that show was awesome. Let's do the credits. Patrick Brady, he fixes the audio every week. He also does the teaser videos on YouTube. So Patrick Brady is an awesome guy, and I thank him for his work. Mike Rickberg sang the song you heard at the beginning, composed and sang it with his girlfriend Sarah. He's going to sing in about a heartbeat for the Mexican hat dance. And Vilmos fixes my website, JackieCation.com. So support him and his work. Thanks a lot, you guys. Take care out there. Bye.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?